everyone. Hello, 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 and welcome to the conversation. I am your host, Andrea B. Flintroy, and it is so wonderful and amazing that I bring you a guest. You know it every week, someone who is going to be real, relatable, and definitely relevant. The conversation is a space where we have open, transparent, candid discussions. And, we talk about things that we have been through. My guests, they talk about their journeys that they've been on and how they have learned from their journeys or just some things that have happened in their journeys to where they want to help someone else along their journey. Because again, I strongly believe that our journey, when we share our journey, it can help someone else along in their journey. So, to the conversation community, hello and welcome. But if you are new here and you are not a part of the TC community, guess what? You can be a part of the TC community by three different ways. Like the conversation, share the conversation, and make a comment. We're always here having discussions with each other. So if it's something that you might hear on tonight that you're like, hey, that sounds like me, or you know what, let me tell her, girl, you're doing your thing, or amen. Hey, chime in. Let me hear your questions. Let me see what your questions are. And guess what? We will get to your questions also. And my guest, she's going to answer your questions. But again, and if we are not connected, go ahead and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm in the TikTok world, y'all. But don't judge me though. So I'm just a little bit in there. Don't judge me. But hey, and if you are listening from YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can get connected. And so we can always be together and you can get the conversation every Wednesday. All right. But again, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this conversation, y'all, because it's been good to me. So I definitely want to welcome my guest, Omeakio, to the conversation.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes. Yes. Hello, mother. My mom's in the room. Hey, mama. Yes. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So Omeakio, give us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your business that you have.
Well, first, I'm a wife. I'm a mother of six. Three are my biological children. Three are my bonus children. I'm a grandmother of six, including my grandpa. And I have more than 18 years of experience as a director, manager, trainer, mentor, executive in the healthcare industry. I'm a certified executive coach and consultant, as well as a motivational speaker. My business on the side, which is a new business that I am launching May 1st, 2022, is Elevate with O. And Elevate with O is a foundation that helps women give permission to transform and ignite the power within them to imagine the impossible, to understand who they are, to reach beyond their own strength, and I want to encourage them to know their worth and the power that they have within them. Giving themselves permission to not think about what they can't do, but what can they do? What are you? I am. Permission granted, I am. And whatever that is, that's what I want to bring out in women. So Elevate with O is coming May 1st, 2022. And I'm so excited about it.
Awesome. Look, y'all definitely better get with Elevate with O. So
Yes.
when May gets here, definitely the TC community, we are going to give you all the love, all the shares, because hey, we want people to know who you are. We want people to get connected with you. And it sounds like it is amazing company that you have. And oh my goodness.
Listen, I've been using all of these skills and experiences in the corporate world. Now I'm bringing it out. And I'm like, you know what? I got to help my community. So
exactly.
We're going to launch it and we're going to get to work. Yes.
Look, I'm so excited for Elevate with O. Look, I'm excited like it's me birthing the baby, but I just gotta get excited. That's my sister. Like, I'm so excited. Like, this is the thing. Like, because I understand everything that it goes into building and launching your brand and your company. Yes. And so I'm so excited for you. And I just cannot wait to see it unfold. So big ups.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. So let's get into Omeakio. Tell us about your pit to your purpose. What was in your pit, and how did it lead you to your purpose?
Wow. Yeah, from the pit to my purpose. So, in order to understand the person I am now, you have to know my testimony, which resulted in the evolution of Elevate with O. Um, to be honest, I was broken. I carried a lot of baggage with me for a lot of years. I've been in abusive relationships. I experienced sexual molestation at a young age, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, just beat down to a point where I actually started to believe that I deserved to be messed up, and I believed that I deserved to get whatever I got. In my relationships, in my life, everything was just bad, and it started from the womb. My mom and dad got married when they were young. They were both coming into a marriage broken from things in their past, and they weren't sure how to deal with them, because if you think about now, we have different resources. Back then, they didn't really have resources to help them face the problems that they were having, to help them understand their brokenness. So it was basically, our grandparents used to say, what happens in our house stays in our house. So you got these two broken people who are married and they have children, and then now they're raising their children in this world in their brokenness. So in this brokenness, there were fights, physical, verbal. My parents separated several times, and during one, it was probably multiple, but I really remember one specific experience where I was sexually abused by a very close family member. And I believe I was 5 or 6 at the time. And I can recall after that happened, feeling so dirty, feeling so unclean, that I remember being in the closet in my bedroom, scrubbing the insides of my thighs with bleach, trying to wash away that dirt that I felt in the inside. And even today, I still have those scars where that bleach created wounds in the inside of my thighs. And I hid the abuse from my parents because, one, my dad was not the one to play with. So I knew if I told him, then my uncle probably wouldn't be living.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them to fight. So here I am, this broken little girl, hating myself, feeling ugly on the inside, and wanting to match that on the outside. By the time I was 16, I was an alcoholic, drinking way more than I should have. I was promiscuous, and I didn't care about myself. I hated myself. And the more I drank, the angrier I became, and I wanted to fight, and I didn't care about the consequences.
Yeah.
So by the time I was 19, I was homeless, I was careless, and I was alone. Homeless, careless, and alone. But God, but God, He always finds a way to shift me and steer me in the right direction or in a different direction. Yeah. And He directed me to go to the military. That's what I believe, because I was completely out of control and I needed some type of guidance.
Yeah.
And I believe the military was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, but I was still broken. I was broken. I was untrusting. I was angry. I was lonely. I was frustrated. And I felt like nobody understood me. So I had all these betrayals in my life, and it took a toll on me. I lost my worth. I lost my identity. I no longer knew who I was. Or even if, I don't even know if I ever knew who I was, because that innocence was taken at such an early age. I just was on this path of self-destruction, right? So I put on this facade like I had it all together on the outside, but I was shattered and broken on the inside. I created chaos in my relationships. I would, purposely get in arguments to end relationships. I'm broken. I'm rejected. I'm setting myself up for rejection by creating an atmosphere that was so unbearable, so unbecoming, that nobody wanted to be around me. I couldn't trust. I was so angry. I even in my marriage, I've been with my husband for 27 years. We've been married for 17 years. But at the seventh or eighth year, we almost divorced. We split up. And it was in that season It was in that season that God came, because I couldn't do nothing but fall on my face and say, I don't know what else to do. I don't
Yeah.
know what else to do. So that's when he wants you to come to him even more.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, he's always here for us, but I didn't always tap into that source. And it wasn't until I tapped into that source that I learned that I had such unforgiveness in my heart.
Yes.
I refused to forgive people. My uncle had died years ago when I was probably a teenager, but I still allowed him to trap me and to make me feel like I was so mad at him. He dead and gone, but I still carry that burden of unforgiveness. I was mad at my parents. I was mad at God. I was mad at everybody.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he showed me my brokenness. It wasn't until he showed me my unforgiveness and showed me that, you know what, you don't got to be ashamed of what you've been through. You don't have to be ashamed of, not feeling like you don't belong, that you're not accepted, that you're unclean, that you disgrace. Because in me, you are all that. In me, you are loved. In me, you are accepted. In me, I don't reject you. And it was at that time that I allowed God to seep inside of me and just to help me through everything. And he helped me out of my brokenness. And the testimony in that is, oh my God, I was able to regain my identity, to know my worth now. My husband and I are back together, and it was when we put God back into the center of our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And we pray. I have a prayer room, a war room that I go in. I have my husband's pictures on there, prayers for my husband. I will go and pray for him. And it's in those seasons that he shifted things around for all of us. And it was then that we transformed. And God was able to allow me to see me in my brokenness. He was able to see me he was able to allow me to see me in my self-destructiveness. He allowed me to see me in my unforgiveness. And it was when I opened up and said, I forgive. Those burdens started lifting off. When I started seeing who I am and loving who I am, irregardless of everything I've been through. When I started loving me,
Come on now.
woo! The chains were broken. The chains were broken. And in that moment, I was like, okay, God, what you want me to do?
Yeah.
What you want me to do? It was that time he said, I've given you elevate with hope. Because there are some women who have been molested. There's some women who have been abused. There's some women who don't feel worthy. They feel like they don't belong. They feel rejected. They feel broken. And I brought you out of this. You know what it feels like to be here. You know what it feels like to have nothing. You know what it feels like to be homeless. You know what it feels like to be alone. And I want you to help other women feel wanted, feel like they are worthy, feel like they can do whatever they put their mind to, because I created it in them. And I need you to pull that out. So God has blessed me. So with the knowledge, the skills, the experience, I am using it to coach, encourage, mentor, and train women to be the best version of them that they can be, flaws and all. With all the past experiences, the storm, the pains, all of it.
Yes.
All that we've been through, we made it.
Yes.
We made it because we're right here today. We made it. So I say that with passion. I say that with 100% power and authority. I made it. I am here right now, and I am none of those things people call me. I am who I am. And I'm going to start affirming who I am. I'm going to start writing down who I am, because when we believe who we are, that's when everything else, everything anybody else is saying, is blocked out. Yes. I believe who I am. So there you go. That's it.
It's voided out. It is voided out at that point. When you believe, and like you said, when you believe, because first you have to believe it.
Yes.
To know who you are. Yes. You have to believe it within yourself that you are strong, that you are mighty, that you are a conqueror, that you are beautiful, that you are amazing, that you are unique, that you can be your authentic self unapologetically, even though your past may have looked a certain way. You know that your past does not dictate your future. All it did was just help kind of mold the character of the person of who you're becoming. Girl, this is, come on now, keep it going.
Come
No, you go.
Your past does not define who you are today. That was you back then. And don't be ashamed of it. Here's the thing. We sometimes we do things when we didn't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe we knew, but we didn't really understand. But when we go through those things, we experience those things and we learn from them. Come on.
Yes.
They help us grow. They help us grow.
Yes. And you know what? And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Is that growth. When we have that self-growth.
Yes.
That's what it's about. When you're able to look back over the situations and your experiences that you've been through and you've seen the growth that you've had, and that you're able to go, you know what? I thank God for the person that I have become, or that I am becoming. Because even though when we went through those situations, those experiences, like you, even though you went through that experience, it was traumatic. It was, you know, this is something that you never thought or dreamed that you'll be going through. But look at you today.
Yes.
Those experiences set you up to be who you are today.
Absolutely. Without those experiences, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be the woman that I am. I wouldn't have the courage that I have. Listen, I let nobody dim my light anymore. And I used to do that. I used to let people dim my light, be that people pleaser, always wanting to please everybody, and would shut down. But now I'm like, oh no, mask off.
Come on now.
No mask, no. And I'm not fitting in your box.
Yeah.
I'm outside the box. You know why? Because God has given me power and authority to do all things. All things through him. He strengthens me. Come on now.
Look, I heard Lisa Nichols say, she said, I don't have no box. And don't put me in your box.
Right.
Like you said, I don't fit in no box.
That's right. That's right. Yes. And when we realize that, we cannot be restricted. And I had to get to a point where I no longer limited myself, because I serve a God that is limitless. So why would I limit myself? Come on now. For what?
Yes. I mean, and then when you think about just how awesome and amazing that God is.
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness, he's just so sweet. And like, as we was talking about earlier, just with the energy and me knowing the season that I'm in, and just knowing that God has his hand on that.
Yes.
And it's so amazing when you're able to sit back and you know that God has his hand on you.
Come on. He never takes his hands off of. We leave him. He never leaves us. He always has his hand stretched out to us. It's when we come back to him and say, God, I need you. And we take hold of his hand, because his hand is always out there.
Yes, you're right.
It's up to us. It's up to us. But sometimes we can't do that by ourselves. That's why it's so important to surround ourselves around women who will lift us up, who will empower us, who will support us, who we can lean on. I have a tribe of women that we get together and we just pour into each other, because we need that. And that's what Elevate What is all about, is creating an atmosphere, creating a resource, a platform for women to get fed into, because sometimes our cups are empty. And
talk about that cup.
We cannot operate out of an empty cup. We need people to pour into our cups with motivation, encouraging words. You know what? And we need to have a gateway to go in and talk to people and say, you know what? If it's just a vent, if you just want to come and vent, and we can sit and if you want me to talk, I will. If not, you want my advice, you can get it. If you don't, if you want me to just sit and listen to you, that's what we do, because we need that. And oftentimes we don't have that, or if you are where I was in such a self-destructive state that I wouldn't allow anybody to be that person for me, or be those people for me, until I opened up, until I allowed people in.
Yeah. And so, and let's talk about being in that space right there, where you would not allow people to come in. Now, was this something, were you able to see the wall that you had up, or were you in denial of the wall, but then had to find out or discover that the wall was actually there?
I had to find out that I was in
Mm.
denial. I was in denial that the wall was up, but I also, if I'm being truly transparent, I knew I was
Go ahead.
being mean. I knew I was being nasty. I listen. My tongue was just as lethal as anything. That you say something wrong, and I would spew out a whole
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. So I knew that, but I thought I was justified because of the hurt, because of everything I had been through. I felt I was justified to treat people like they would treat me. Or I felt justified. You betrayed me? Oh, really? And that's how I operated until I had to get that brokenness get completely shut down because I couldn't see. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't really see how I was impacting other people. Now, my husband would tell me, he was like, people don't like being around you. You like, your energy is just off. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. My energy is not off, sir. It is not off.
Mm.
But when I start really in that brokenness, when I really just, it was a quiet season. Couldn't
Mm-hmm.
say too much, wouldn't do too much, just allow God. Is when you ask God to reveal you to you.
Won't he do it?
It could
Guess
be an
what?
ugly thing. You'd be like, oh, I was like that. Oh, that ouch, that hurt. Oh, I was really like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you was nasty. You was mean. You said some really nasty things to these
Mm-hmm.
people. And it wasn't until I got that reality check
Yeah.
of how I was being to people and how I shut people off. I was quick. You got one chance.
Ooh.
You got one chance. It wasn't no second chance or nothing. One chance. That was it. And God had to show me, where's your compassion? Where's your compassion for people? This ain't who you are. This is not who you are. So he had to create a new me in me, a new heart, a new mind, a new body, a new spirit. All that had to happen in order for me to really see how I was impacting my husband, how I was impacting my family, how I was impacting relationships.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what? And I'm so glad that you were honest where you was like, you know what? No, I was just in denial of the wall that was
Mm-hmm.
there. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? It's always that moment where someone tells you what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear the words that you said and you're like, oh no, I didn't say that. And they be like, no, I got receipts. And you're like, oh, He was like, who
See,
would
I wasn't
say
like
that?
that. I wasn't like that. I never denied what I said. I said it, but I ain't said it in the way you said. You think I said it. This is what
Oh,
I meant when I said it. So you're not gonna tell me how I said it. This is how I said it. So I would never deny me saying what I said, but it was don't interpret my words for me. I'll tell you what I said.
what you say? Wait a minute, let me go. No, you got it wrong. Because
Yeah,
I might have said it, but
yeah.
I ain't said that way. Or how you took it, because it's not my fault that from your experiences that you perceive what I said wrong. Look, I
That's it, and
know.
that's what that denial is, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm putting that back on you. You trying to put it on me? I'm like, no, you just heard that wrong. This is what I meant, and I'm only being honest. Don't you want me to be honest? Don't you want me to be transparent? Don't you want me to communicate? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like you said,
Mm.
and I'm in all of that, it's hurt that comes with
Yes,
that.
that was
Because
hurt.
what that is the defense,
Mm-hmm.
that fence, that guard, that wall that you put up or that we'll put up. And we don't want people to really see what's behind that wall.
Yes,
Because once you step behind that wall, then I'm open. Then
yes.
I'm vulnerable.
Mhm.
And then I'm emotional. And then
Right.
not only am I vulnerable, emotional, but guess what? Now I got to deal with what's behind
Yes.
that wall.
Yes. And oftentimes when we have to deal with that, because again, we're raised as strong women, and you
Mm-hmm.
gotta always have your best foot forward. You can't let nobody see
Yes.
you being vulnerable and all this other stuff. So it's like now I gotta deal with it. And how do I deal
Mhm.
with that? Because we don't know how to deal with it. We weren't taught
Yeah.
how to deal with that type of stuff. Again, what
Mhm.
happens in grandma's house stays in grandma's house. That's what I was. That's what I was taught. You don't talk
Yeah.
about this stuff outside of this. People don't want to talk about what happened, even though they
Mhm.
may even have heard it happen or they may have even experienced it. They didn't have a platform to talk about it or get some
Mhm.
help. That's not our environment anymore. We have therapists that we can go talk and see. And a lot of people don't like to go through therapists, but listen, you can't do this by yourself. And yes, we have God, but God has also positioned people in places. He's given them these degrees so that they can help us get through these times, these difficult times, because we can't do it by ourselves. There's no way in heck I could have done any of this by myself. No way I could have moved past all those things that happened to me to where I am right now if I didn't reach out and tap into those resources and really get the help that I needed.
And that's the thing. That's the beauty in the healing process.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that it can be beautiful.
Yes.
And then some days it can be ugly.
Yes.
Then it's beautiful again. Then it's real ugly. But
it's a process.
Yeah, it is such a process.
Yes.
But the end thing, I like the way you said it, is being the best version of you.
The best. That's the end result. Being the best you that you can be. So that's seeking help. That's seeking people that you can really trust, that you can pour your heart out to, that you can be vulnerable with. You can drop that guard, that wall that you have built up. You can drop that. And you have someone to trust with your situation, with your whatever it is. And sometimes they need to sit in the well with you. I need you to sit in the well with me. And sometimes that's just being you just in. Just sit with me. And sometimes if I'm telling you what's going on, just take it from me, just for a minute. Let me have a reprieve. Just hold it for me for a minute.
Let me tell you something about that. That right there is something that I told my husband. I said, you know what? I don't need you to always give me a solution. I said, because you know what? I've always been one to find solutions. I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to put my bootstraps on. I said, I'm going to go out here marching. I said, but some days I just need to just be able to just throw this in your lap. I said, just hold it. I'm going to come back and pick it up. I'm going to solve it myself. But I just need you to hold it. Give me a moment. I'm going to lay in the bed because this is the day I don't want to get up early. Let me lay in the bed. Let me relax. Let me do all this. Gain my composure. And then come back and pick it up. Okay. Thank you. Now.
Thank you.
Let me march on because I'm finna fight. Now I'm ready to fight.
Yes. Because you had somebody to hold it for you for this time, for this season. Have somebody to hold it for you. And that's what we need sometimes.
Yes.
So,
yeah. And it's just all about, like you said again, that community and that support. But then sometimes I feel like some people don't know what support is supposed to look like. So like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So sometimes you got to tell people. You have to set the stage for it. Because sometimes, you know what? I want your advice.
Yeah.
I'm going through something. I need your advice. Or I'm going through something, and right now, all I need is a listening ear. I just need you to sit and listen. Because here's the thing: sometimes people don't know what you want, so they'll give you what they feel you want. But we got to articulate what we need from people. What do you need from your community? What do you need from your husband? What do you need from your friend? What do you need? Because they can't read your mind. They can't figure it out for you. Only you know what you need. So you got to speak that. You got to communicate that to them.
Yes. And that's even a part of building and having that healthy boundary.
Yes.
Because we got to understand that people are not mind readers.
Yes.
They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're feeling. They don't even know if you're hungry. So it's like we get upset because we want people to automatically know, but they don't know. And I ask my clients all the time, what does support look like for you?
Yes.
How do you want me to support you in this moment? What does it look like? And if they say, well, I don't know. Okay, we can work with that. Let's work with that.
Right.
Or even if you have something where you know what support looks like, that gives me something too. But we need to have something that we're working with.
Yes.
Because if you're in here blind, but you want me to try to put the pieces together of what you need, I can't do that because I'm blind too. So now we blind, both leading the blind.
Or you will give them what you need. Come on. You give them what you need, and it ain't got nothing to do with what they need.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Hashtag that part. Hashtag it. That part. Yes. Yes,
We have to communicate. Communication is so important.
it
So
is
important.
definitely, that is the key. And that's the thing that I love from what I learned from Gary Chapman of the five love languages.
Hmm.
That we, instead of us loving people the way that we want to be loved, we have to love someone the way that
Yes.
they need to be loved,
Yes.
because we grow up in certain environments, and so
Hmm.
what the things that we see in the home, this is what we're bringing to our relationships, when we
Yes.
bring it to our marriages, when we both, each individual, come from different social environments.
Yes.
And so we
Yes.
have to understand, well, one person saying, well, my family didn't show love, and the other person's like, well, my family, we show love, we're very affectionate. When you bring them two together, they're clashing, because it's like,
Mm.
well, I'm trying to give you what I had, I'm trying to give you what I had, and it's like, this ain't working.
Yes, I know that for that's has been what I've experienced. It's
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give him what I've got, and he's trying to give
Yeah,
me what he's got, and I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Yo, what you
exactly.
bringing up to the table ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't want that. And you don't say it like that, but you like, but that's not my love language. You don't understand what I need. But again,
Yeah.
if I don't communicate that,
Mm-hmm.
he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know.
Nope.
My friends don't know. If I don't communicate what I need from you, they don't know. So they'll operate out of, you know what? I have love for my friend and I want to help her out so much. So I'm going to do whatever I got to do. But again, to your point, you're going to operate out of your culture, your upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
what you have and within you. And sometimes that don't have nothing to do with what that person needs.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's in that simple communication of just
Yeah.
saying, how do you need me to support you in
Yes.
this moment?
Yes.
Because then support can look different in each and every experience.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so the way that you supported me, let's say last week, is not the same way I need you to support me this week or in this situation.
Yes. You're
So,
absolutely right.
mm-hmm. Ooh, this is good to me. I don't know about nobody else, but this is good to me. TC community, if this is good to you, let me see y'all say it in the chat, chime it up, because this right here, oh me go.
Listen,
You
you
go on.
call, I answer. Let's go. Let's go. Whatever you need. Here's the thing. I love this type of energy and atmosphere because, again, we're coming together and we're helping people. And that's what
Mhm.
it's about, right? It's helping people from learn from our experiences. How do we help you if you're going through the same thing? That's what it's
Yes,
about. So I love
definitely.
it.
And you know what? And one thing I gotta say this, that I love that you had your experiences. And like I said, traumatic experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But you, once you went through your journey, your healing
Mm-hmm.
process, seeing yourself,
Yes.
being able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "No, girl, that was you wrong."
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But then forgiving yourself, because
Yes.
that's a hard part to. It takes courage to begin the forgiving process,
Yes.
because again, that's another ugly step. It's another
Mm-hmm.
hard step, because then it's a hard truth where you got to look at yourself, and this is the reality talking now. This is
Yes.
the open, the candid, like this is transparent. This is taking off all the layers. Look
Yes.
at yourself and to say that I forgive you for
Mm.
whatever it is that you went through from the age of 2, 3, 4, 5 on up. I forgive you for
Mm-hmm.
understanding that, okay, yes, that happened to you at the age of 5, but I forgive you for what? Because you wasn't able
Yes.
to move this person off of you. You didn't have that strength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or like, even for me, like being a teenage mom, I had to forgive myself. I forgive
Yes.
you for being a teenage mom. I forgive you
Yes.
for getting pregnant in high school.
Forgiveness is forgiving
Mm,
yourself is hard
it is.
because we have this standard for ourselves, these expectations for ourselves, and going through that is basically stripping it
Everything.
down, stripping everything, and no expectations, just going and
Mhm,
saying, you gotta go through this. You gotta go through
mhm.
this because you can't move forward if you don't forgive you.
Yes.
And it was a hard season because it's not easy to forgive me. Because it's like, man, what could I have done? And you get all these what ifs in your head. But if I would have did this, if I would have did that, should have did this, all these woulda, shoulda, couldas. No, it's not. And understanding that what I went through, the molestation, wasn't my fault.
Exactly.
It wasn't my fault. He was the adult. My parents should have probably, they got a lot of things going on, but maybe they should have watched it a little closely. I don't know, but I'm not even putting the blame. I had to forgive them too, because you know what? In their brokenness and what they were dealing with, they didn't have the availability.
I like that.
In that season, they were not available because they had their own things going on. And I didn't know that then, but God revealed it to me in my adults when I was going through this process. They weren't available. They didn't have the resources. They did what the best that they knew how to do. And then that I have to forgive them because you know what? It's okay. Because here's the thing. I'll come back to where are you now?
Yeah.
Where are you now? You made it. You made it. You are right here. You standing. And God made it so that everything that you've gone through, come on, He still gives you purpose.
Yes.
He's still giving me purpose. And He still says, I never left you. I'm never going to forsake you. I still love you. So when He started pouring in His love for me and I start feeling it, I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to need you to go through this forgiveness now.
Yeah.
Forgiving myself was so important. Not only forgiving myself, but forgiving everybody who did some harm, hurt me, offended me, whatever, all that. And it was like a weight lifted off. It was like a weight lifted off, like, man. And it's forgiveness is as easy as we allow it to be.
Yes.
And I say that because sometimes it's like it's hard to forgive somebody. Why? Why is it hard? We feel like we got to justify, we got to justify why we're mad at them. But forgiveness is not for them.
Nope.
Forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness is for me. I needed that. And when I got that, listen.
Opens up. Yes.
Open up. And I felt such a burden lifted. I did not feel tied down. I didn't feel bounded because my uncle had me bounded in this bitterness and this angriness for years. I was 30-something years old before I was broken down in this point. And it was for years. You didn't took my life away from me. And you dead and gone and you still taking my life. So those people who have hurt us, when we keep unforgiveness in our hearts, we are allowing them to control us. We're giving them power over our lives. And guess what? You will not. You will not have power over me. You will not keep me bound. You will not keep me looking in a rearview mirror. Absolutely not. I am moving forward, and I can't move forward if I'm keeping looking back. So you got to do it. You got to forgive yourself. And it's a hard journey, but here's the thing. You ain't got to do it by yourself. You ain't got to do it by yourself.
So much fire tonight. So much fire. This is so good. But and TC community, I hope you heard her when she said, the good news is you do not have to do it by yourself. You are not alone in this.
There's so many women who have gone through traumatic experiences. And I used to think, well, my experience ain't worse than somebody else. I didn't heard yours. I'm like, well, my little stuff. But don't negate what you've gone through. Don't negate your experiences. Come on. You've gone through something too. And until we get to a place where we can open up. And again, to your point, dropping those walls and those guards. But again, you have to have a safe place for that too.
Yeah.
You got to be mindful of that because everybody can't hear your business. Because everybody be like talking about, gossip central over here. Listen,
that's what happened back then.
Here's what I tell people. You can't tell my business because I tell my own business. How about
that? That's right. Look, I
tell my stuff. I tell my own stuff now. Go run and tell that. So,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all are enjoying this again. TC community, where y'all at, where you at, where you at. This is so awesome and amazing. Look, you see where you can connect with Omeakio at on Facebook, connect with her, talk with her. Don't forget the Elevating with O. She is launching it. It's coming out May 1st. Let's give her all the support and the love on in that moment, in that time, and just celebrate her in being who she is, and the person and the lovely person that we see before us today, helping many women as they are going through their own journeys, motivating them, inspiring them as they are going through their journeys. And because one thing we know is change can be hard.
yes,
Adjusting can be hard. But as she said, having that community, having someone with you, it it helps. It helps. And it definitely can get you over some hard humps.
yes,
It can definitely help pick you up in some low valleys also.
yes.
But oh my goodness.
So I'm going to say one more thing because one thing that really got me, and
Mhm.
I had this question posed to me and was like, "What's your obstacle?" And I said, "Well, if I think about it now,
Mhm.
one of the obstacles was me. I was blocking me. The
Mhm.
pained me was blocking me. The one that wanted to go out and hit my purpose, and that fear was blocking me. Right? I had this fear, being rejected, or what are people going to say? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Mhm.
being accepted is something that we always want. Everybody want to be accepted. And I started to get to a point, and I got this feedback from one of my mentors at work, and she said, "You know what? We have this fear, and we're blocking ourselves. And sometimes you got to tell that little girl in the mirror, like, okay, listen, I got some work to do. I'm gonna need you to go sit in that corner. I need you to sit over there for a minute. Now I'll pick you up in a minute, but I got some work to do. I need you over here." And that has helped me in a sense to say, you know what, I still go through some things. So I'm not perfect. I make mistakes still. I'm still getting it right. It's a daily walk for me. Listen,
Mhm.
I'm a little line over from messing up. But you know what? I try to stay focused. I try to be real. I try to be transparent. I try to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. But I had to start blocking myself. I had to look myself in the mirror and say, I need you to get out of my way because I got some stuff to do. God got a
Mhm.
purpose for me. And as long as you're in my way, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I need you to move. I need you to move now. Move out my way.
Yeah.
And when you can really get to the realization of understanding where you are, and if you find that you're blocking you, then you need to have a conversation with yourself and always do introspection. I always try to look at within myself to say, is there something that I need to work on?
Mhm.
Feedback is so important too. Ask for feedback. I ain't like feedback in the beginning. I don't like people telling me what I do, don't, whatever. But I learned
Mhm.
that feedback is so important because it
Mhm.
helps you be that best version of you that you want to be. And
It helps
until
you
people
feel
tell
good.
you what they see, you said this earlier. Did you notice it, or did somebody have to tell you, or you're in denial? I was in denial, even though people were telling me had to swallow up and I couldn't receive the feedback. You gotta open
Mhm.
up. You gotta allow that feedback to come in. And even if
Yeah.
it's this much, the perception, sometimes the perception that people have, there may be a little truth in it. So do some introspection within yourself to say, is there any truth into what I'm hearing? And because again, we are imperfect. We are
Mhm.
imperfect and we're gonna make mistakes and sometimes we don't get it right. But when we
Mhm.
look within ourselves to make sure that we are a better version of ourselves, better today than we were yesterday, every day we try to be a better version of ourselves. That's what it's
Mhm.
about. It's not being perfect. It's not trying to be perfect. It's just you know what? I'm trying to be better today.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, sorry. I had to meditate on that, y'all. Sometimes you gotta let some things marinate. You
Come on.
just gotta
Come
let it
on.
marinate. Whew.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Just so good. Just so good. But you're absolutely right. And so again, anyone that is listening, TC community, I hope this has blessed you as much as it has blessed me today. And just remember, to forgive yourself. Know that your
Yeah.
past does not dictate your future. Go through the process of self forgiveness. And also remember that you can't give someone something you don't have. So you need to
Amen.
fill up your cup. And I like to always say you serve people from your saucer and
Yeah.
not from your cup, because your cup is reserved for you. Your
I love
saucer,
that.
that's reserved for other people. So if you don't have it in the overflow, you can't give someone something you don't have, because what's in your
Yes.
cup, that's for you. And that's that healthy boundary that you have set and put in place.
Yes. And we need that, right? We need
Hmm.
healthy boundaries. You have to have boundaries, and but don't think that your boundaries are saying that people can't come and be around you. Is
Hmm.
you have to make sure you're setting those, because otherwise everybody be coming in and messing up your house.
Exactly.
Messing up your
Exactly.
house.
Exactly. Shifting your energy and everything you got on
Yes.
the inside. Yes. So you have to have boundaries, and then also you need to respect your boundaries that you put in place. So don't expect other people to respect your boundaries when you don't respect your boundaries,
Absolutely. So
because
important.
and it starts with the self respect. It start with the self, your self-esteem, your self-worth. How do you see yourself? How you value yourself? That's
Yes.
where the respect starts from, because
Yes.
people are going to treat you the way that you treat you.
Mm.
So how you see you, that's how they see you. And guess
Hmm.
what? Mask on, mask off, they see you the same.
Yep. So important. You are so right, Andrea. Listen,
Because
people
you
will
know what?
treat you. Go
We
ahead.
be thinking we be doing something with that mask on. They see
People can
you.
see right through that.
They see you.
They
They
see
see
you.
you. They see you. And they be like, look at her. Okay.
Hmm.
We'll go along.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's
But
so important to be authentic.
it
Be
is.
who you are.
It
Be who
just
you are.
just be you.
Yeah.
Just be you. Like Nike said,
Hmm.
just do it.
Do it.
Just stud. Stud. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, I hope y'all enjoyed it this evening. This was so amazing, so wonderful. Omiko, you got to come back. So
Okay.
don't go too
Whatever.
far. Don't go too
Absolutely.
far.
Listen, we can bounce off each other all day long. I love the energy. And this, again, what we're doing right now, this is what we do. We are coaches, and we will, the same energy that we got going on right now, we're going to instill that energy in you. We'll bring it
Yes,
out. We'll bring it out.
yes, yes, yes. We'll pull out some hard things, and
Yes.
then we'll replace it with some the good and the positivity
Yes.
and the self growth and the self development.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh. But
I
you know
love it.
what? Because see, I can keep going. Y'all. I'm still just sitting. Look, what is that? Didn't she just bless our souls on this evening? Just ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I just y'all just don't know. I'm gonna take my shower and I'm just gonna be sitting on this because I'm gonna be like, that was good. I need to do a rewatch. So if you in the replay world, when you're watching this, like, hey, rewind some parts, make sure you get it, because this is that episode where we need that reminder. Because
Yes.
sometimes we just forget. We get all boggled down with what's going on in life and everything is just transpiring. And sometimes we need that reminder to
Right.
go back, to look at ourselves and to love ourselves and just remember who we are. And
Yes.
then remember whose we are. Because sometimes
Yes.
we forget that we are wonderfully and we are fearfully made, that we are conquerors, like we are the head and not the tail, that we are above and not beneath, that the Lord said that He will give us beauty for our ashes. Sometimes we just forget and we need
Yes.
that reminder. And
Yes,
it's
we do.
okay to get that reminder. But once you get that reminder,
Mm-hmm.
it's like playing double dutch. You got to get ready to jump in, because guess
That's
what?
right.
Now that you got that reminder, it's time to do the work.
That's right. That's right. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission. So my brand is permission granted. I am. I am.
Mm.
You fill in the blanks. Who are you? I am bold. I am strong. I am passionate. I am full of possibilities. I am beautiful. The list goes on and on and on. You got to affirm who you are. You got to give yourself permission. That's
Yes.
it. That's all I got, Andrea. That's all I
Okay.
got.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Permission granted.
Permission granted. Y'all heard it here. Permission granted. Permission granted. All right, everybody. Look, I want to see y'all here next Wednesday. Again, y'all know we are here every Wednesday of the week. I'm bringing you guests who are real, who are relatable, or who are definitely going to be relevant because I strongly believe that by us sharing our stories of our journey, that we can help someone else heal or help someone else along their journey. So this is what the conversation is all about. You've seen it here. This is what the conversation is for. This is this is the place for the testimony. This is
Yeah.
the place to help someone else along their way. So again, y'all, we are here every Wednesday. And if we are not connected, I want y'all to go ahead and get connected with me. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And hey, if you are in the YouTube world, hit that subscribe button so you can get all these good conversations. All right. And so remember also, show the world who you are and don't allow the world to tell you who you are. Because again, like Omeakio said, you are amazing.
Yes.
You are wonderful. You are
Yes.
powerful. So
Yes.
you show the world that side of you. And don't let the world tell you who you are because they'll try it. So you remember who's driving and let
That's
them
right.
just ride.
That's right.
All right. Y'all have a blessed evening.